Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. I'm Zemo, the dad in DPS, and today we have an episode of The Good, The Scrap and The Scrip, a series where I review weapons that I've either found in Appalachia or beaten out of Murgaburg the Purveyor, and we test them out and see how well they do. And today we have a very interesting one, a Cremator that I recently crafted. So let's talk a little bit about it. Today's weapon, it burns when I PvE, which is a vampire's crit damage, weight reduction Cremator. Now, this weapon is pretty awesome looking. I love the paint that managed to go out, and we did manage to upgrade it and get some of the mods. So what we are currently using is the multi-shot barrel, the fast propellant tank, and the slow burning tank. And as you can see, there's all the damage stats there, and we're going to test it out against some Supermutants to begin with. We'll go and deal with Jeff, and then we'll test it in daily ops, because I always find that's the true test of if you can use something consistently without running out of ammo. Either way guys, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and enjoy the video. Now, before we get started, let's have a look at the build. As you can see, it's pretty much just a standard heavy build. There's nothing particularly special in here, but it just optimizes stuff involving explosions and the range of them and VATs. We also have, obviously, Ricochet on here because that does proc for vampire weapons. Either way, that's the build. Alright, WestTec. As always, let's go and burn the living daylights out of things. Hello. Let's go. Boop. So it didn't one-shot him, but that isn't necessarily a bad thing. That's only 18 fuel. Now, ideally, I'm going to want to use it in that method, but if I just fire it straight into them, it does annihilate them. And this is without enemies grouping up so far, so put it into the middle of those two. Both of them nearly went... Oh no, he didn't get hit by it. So it's not got much range on its explosiveness. But it is giving me a decent amount of ammo back. I'm actually recouping most of my ammo when using this. But you're seeing it does a lot of damage. And because this is a vampire weapon, we are gaining health back as we use it. Not able to crit against something that's, you know, not a one-shot so far, but... Christ. Kablamo. But as you're seeing, it's very powerful. Like, this weapon is certainly going to do a lot of damage to a lot of things. You want to open the door, buddy? And you can just manually aim it. Unlike a grenade launcher, like, I feel like I can be a lot closer to this thing without, like, getting instantly murdered. So I definitely feel like it is... Better is the wrong word, but it is more reliable that you're not going to die with it. And even though my hit percentage is only 30-odd%, it seems to be hitting quite consistently in VATs. Like, am I losing my mind here? I don't think I've missed a single shot. And again, that could be because even if you miss with this thing, it's going to explode on the enemy. Now, I'm gonna, at one point, try it on an enemy that is very close, like that one, and you can see it will take you out. It will take you out depending on what build you're using, and if you're full health, you're probably gonna maybe survive that. But you're seeing that, yeah, this is a dangerous weapon to use close up. You ideally want to use it against enemies that are range in nature. Oh, there we go, that was a miss. You're seeing that is the risk of it, but once we do get a hit on them, it is instantly annihilating. And then, for enemies like this, your best option is to aim it away from them. And this is another thing, you saw that there. You saw that there. This weapon's damage isn't just, like, you hit them and then they're damaged. This weapon has an effect on there that will burn them. And I know that sounds stupid, but other flamethrowers in the game don't actually have a burning effect, which is very strange. So this does have, you know, a damage over time effect, which is very interesting. Either way, I think it's really effective at taking out enemies. So let's move on to our next target. Alrighty, we are here at Stark's Pond, and we have our long-term friend of the channel, Jeff, the Supermutant, to fire this thing into. And you're seeing, like, in terms of killing Jeff, it's not like a one-shot. It is certainly not a one-shot. But 4 rounds of this into him, and he is quite comfortably dead as a doornail. This will take down a Supermutant Behemoth relatively quickly. And if it takes down Jeff, then it's going to take down most enemies, isn't it? But we do have one that, in my opinion, surpasses Jeff in the damage to him. So the next enemy we're going to test it on is the Mirelurk Queen, and if it takes out the Queen, it'll take out just about any enemy in the game, because she is a big old tanky son of a bitch. Now, when you're up against the Mirelurk Queen, the important thing to always do is take out those legs as soon as possible, because she is one big damaging gonad. Oh Jesus, she is closing in on me rather quickly. Get me up on this. There we go. Right, you. God, that did not work out. that was potentially bad there. So we'll just shoot. Yeah, you saw. Like, she goes down in a few hits. We were just trying not to get too close to her. It completely annihilates her. Absolutely and utterly annihilates her. Now, the final test I have for this weapon is its sustainability. And the reason I say sustainability is because of fuel. Essentially, this weapon is using 15 fuel every single shot. And because it's using 15 fuel every single shot, you need a reliable way to get ammo outside of crafting, because otherwise you would be crafting ammo forever. And fortunately, by the looks of it, daily ops is your option. Because, as you're seeing here, we are using the ammo fairly confidently, and we've used 3 lots of it, but we've got nearly double our ammo back on just those enemies alone. So this is very, very usable in daily ops, and this isn't including if I am going up against enemies that will group up. All of those enemies were very far apart, and I think that's the main problem with that. If the enemies are far apart and not grouping, you are going to be using more ammo. In your day-to-day going around and attacking things, this weapon's going to absolutely, completely body anything you go up against. But in single target against little things, yeah, it kind of feels almost like a waste. But in daily ops, that is not the case. I am getting my ammo back and a little bit more. So I definitely recommend using this weapon in daily ops to farm for flamer ammo, though I will say you're probably better off with something like an actual flamer in order to farm the ammo for this. Either way, guys, that's pretty much that. So yeah, that was this particular Cremator. Now what I'm going to say is this is an incredibly powerful and beastly weapon. The explosion radius on this isn't as great as a lot of other explosion weapons, but that is to its benefit to an extent as well. Being a vampire weapon, it means I can be that bit closer and not accidentally kill myself. There is also the fact that it will regenerate a lot of health, because when it comes to this weapon, it fires a bunch of different shells in the multi-shot attack, and I regenerate 2 health per shot. So it is a lot of regeneration in a short amount of time. On top of this, if you go for the body shots opposed to the headshots, I know in the beginning I was going for the headshots, but I started going for body shots later on, it is far more accurate, and you can guarantee these perfect hits with it. And this will annihilate just about any enemy you land all those shots on. They are not going to survive it unless they are one of the bigger tanky enemies like Jeff, or like the Mirelurk Queen and the bosses in the game. Either way, guys, I find this weapon really fun, and I would heavily recommend that if you don't have it already, you get a hold of a Cremator and test it out. Either way, guys, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time in the Wasteland.